I'm here at the World Dairy Expo with Paul Larmer, the former CEO of Semex. And Paul was named the International Person of the Year here at the World Dairy Expo. Congratulations, Paul.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
So tell me, Paul, what does this award mean to you?
Well, it means a great deal. I mean, one, that our board of directors and my colleagues felt that, I was worthy of the consideration. And two, the World Dairy Expo, world, global, and an international award. It means a great deal that I would be recognized for what's happened on the international stage and for the growth of Semex.
And Semex, of course, is a global company that grew from a Canadian company to be one of the leading players in dairy genetics in the world. Can you talk a bit about what you had to learn as the CEO for that growth period to go from managing a Canadian company to a global company?
Well, I think really the change was kind of taking it from a commodity-based organization that exported internationally to having a global vision, and that global vision included some investment internationally through production facilities in Europe, based in Hungary, and then most recently Latin America and Brazil. So where we had a global stage, a global production presence that mitigated some risk, mitigated trade risk, but brought with it risk as well. I mean, obviously investment risk. And, now we've grown to 15 subsidiaries around the world, as well as a number of licensees, with Bovitech, which has been a significant part of the growth of Semex as well. So it really was expansion of the offering, a little bit more towards the genetic solution side than just genetics as a commodity, and with that international investment to facilitate our global footprint as well.
And what were key decisions over time that Semex took to that really helped power it to where it is now?
Well, I think, the first significant decision was the formation of the Semex Alliance. So when the owner partners decided to put their genetic assets together with the sales and marketing organization, which was Semex Canada at the time, that was really the big decision that facilitated. And because we were working as one on behalf of the Canadian producers, not all working against each other to fight for market share within Semex. And then secondly, I think, was in 2009 when our board of directors started a strategic planning session, and then a 3-year strategic plan that really initiated some of the growth and international investment. And, I think that was a great move forward by our board of directors. For that, it brought stability. It brought additional profitability and really facilitated the years of growth that we've had as an organization.
We often criticize Canadian agriculture for we export a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily have players globally. What do you think we need to do in Canadian agriculture that could help more Canadian companies play in the global market?
Well, I think, if I think back through our history, there were times where we had CFIA, we had trade embassies, we had organizations like Semex. Everyone was working together to facilitate and enhance and grow trade. And I've seen that move away. I don't think there's any longer that determination. CFIA, and I'm not trying to be critical of that, but it's really kind of moved towards food safety, and at one time went to the Ministry of Health as opposed to the Ministry of Agriculture. So you lose some of that laser focus. And I think we've lost some of that laser focus on global trade for agriculture, and yet it's one of the most vast resources and opportunities we have in Canada. And, it would be, and we're also now facing more political trade wars than just, do we have a health chart for this country? Can we open up trade? It's, do they want to do business with Canada? And then secondarily, does Canada want to do business with them? And so we see that political environment more and more involved in our trade these days as well.
And then as a CEO who's been a CEO for quite a while, what sort of skills should in business leadership would you recommend other leaders in agriculture business in Canada work on? What are some of the keys?
Well, I think it, always it comes back to communication with your employees, communication with your board of directors, ensuring that everybody is one vision, and map out the strategy, who's responsible for what. And I always talk about, you set the boundaries. It's like playing a football game. Here's the out of bounds. and here's the rules, and then let the players play. And I think CEOs that facilitate that growth in people, trust their people, but also enhance them through training and support and trust. But then also that ability to communicate outside of your organization as well. And I think that communication piece to ensure that your board, your employees, and in our case, our distributors, our subsidiary managers, that you all are working towards the same end goal. And of course, there's the business acumen and some of those types of things. But, if you have all of those things and you don't bring in the people skills, it's very, very difficult to get everybody moving in the same direction.
And how have you found World Dairy Expo this year?
Well, just in yesterday afternoon. Very different for me because I'm not involved in about 10 meetings today. And so I'm able to see a little bit more of it, catch up with people that I haven't seen for a while. So that's been fantastic. But I think it's indicative of the change in our industry. You see less people, perhaps less attendees, and yet, different ways of communicating, whether it's through the virtual show or different media types and that type of thing. So I think that's indicative of the change. But they always do such a great job here. It's it's world renowned, and but you do see a few less exhibitors. That's some of the consolidation probably that's happened. But they're reaching them in many, many different ways.
Good. Well, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, John. Thank you very much.